Back. They call it the Lab at 1010 South Bailey Street in Seattle's Georgetown. This is my new home. My name is Marlee Walker, host of Blues to Do television and radio and publisher of the newspaper for years. I kind of got derailed, long story, but I'm back. And thanks to KZ and the Seattle Drum School here in Georgetown, I am going to be here every Sunday afternoon. About 1 o'clock, I'll serve coffee and free coffee and treats to the first 10 people. I made cookies today, so yeah, we're set. I want to tell you a couple details. I want to give you a little calendar information. I'm going to review a couple shows I saw recently, and we'll probably be done with that half hour quickly. It goes quickly. I'm also going to schedule some guests. I've scheduled Patty Allen for the 17th of September. Looking forward to speaking with her. She's got great stories. Everybody's got great stories. So we're going to have a story time every Sunday afternoon. Looking forward to it, actually. This is great to be back. There's a lot of activity in Seattle. We've always been a music town, but we're getting back on the horse in a lot of ways. It's a different town after the pandemic. It's changed economically, so we're going to get music back. We've got a few places, a few details of music going on. Shall I get into the calendar? Let's see what else we got. I'm going to give away free stuff every Sunday afternoon. You're going to get back in the groove. It'll take a little while to get everything dialed in, as they say, but a lovely fall scene to cover here in Seattle. Matter of fact, I'll just break into that calendar. I was at Jazz Alley last week seeing Fred Wesley, the trombone player for James Brown for years, and he's got the new JBs. And that was a fabulous show. Really, really nice to see. And my friend Bunny Brown did the emceeing. She'll be inducted into the Disc Jockey Hall of Fame in October, so we'll give you more details about that. Looking forward to seeing that ribbon on her crown. Yes, and the first time ever a father and daughter inducted into that Hall of Fame. Not together, but it's the same Hall of Fame. It never happened before. All right, so I went also to Festival Sundiata at Seattle Center. That was a lot of fun this summer. KZ was there. We saw some funky stuff. Also got a really fun show in Kent. It was the Cajun Festival. I saw my buddy Two Scoops. He gave me a new CD. I didn't get this on the screen, but on the images, but he got a new CD called Let Me Have a Raise, and definitely the feeling out there is let me have a raise. So yeah, that was a highlight, seeing Leslie Star Drums Milton do his drumming thing. He'll be one of our future guests. I've spoken to him about getting on the show, so we'll schedule that. Also went to Port Townsend, my favorite. Every year, Centrum puts on the sure when or where. I mean, where I know over there in Hillman City. My buddy Ben Hunter, who has been up in Port Townsend every year and is involved in the country blues for the kids up there, helping out the kids a lot to learn this music. He is working on that business plan for the Black and Tan. I was out there painting some of it at one point a couple years back, but they're still working on that. The pandemic kind of derailed a few plans, but they're back on track. Okay, so what else is happening? We got a big event at Jackson Street. It's the Jackson Street Street Walk. Butch Harrison told me about it. He's going to be playing that. A lot more music than Butch, but he's awesome. He'll be on my show as well in the future. That comes up this weekend, the 8th, 9th, and 10th of September. So what else we got in September? Actually, this Tuesday, in just a couple of days, John Primer is going to be at Aurora Borealis. John Primer was the last guitar player that Muddy Waters had. It'll be Tuesday, 7 o'clock. He's an icon his own self, John Primer, on the 5th of September, coming right up this Tuesday, 7 p.m. at Aurora Borealis. That's a nice venue, and they have a number of events coming up in September. Look for a blues bash with Joel Astley and Ross Robinson, 7 p.m. again on the 12th. And Annie Eastwood will be there with her all-star band, including Billy Stapleton, Jeff Davies, and the drummer vocalist Steve Peterson. Don't get your Steve Petersons mixed up here in Seattle. It's easy to do. 8 p.m. show for that Annie Eastwood show on the 15th. Again, Aurora Borealis. And the 22nd, they have Chris Eager coming down from the North End, and Harmonious Funk will be at Vina Bella on the 22nd of September. We'll give you some forward-looking dates here in September. Also, the Scarlet Tree reunion. The Scarlet Tree was a great venue, if you're new to Seattle, up in the North End, U District, 65th and Roosevelt, right around in there. It was a wonderful venue for years, and it is no longer, but they have reunions annually now. This is the second annual reunion on the 1st of October, and that'll be at Aurora Borealis with Red House, John Goforth, one of my favorite saxophone players in the world. He makes it sound like is an event that, Rob Moitoza is back in town, and he is putting together an event for his birthday. He says it's the same as the RPM of my mom and dad's record player, and that's not a 45. He's talking about a 78. I'm pretty sure he's going to be 78 on the 8th, so he doesn't want presents, but he wants to play. And he's a lovely, lovely bass player and multi-instrumentalist. Anyway, the 10th of September, he's got a gig scheduled. He hired a band. He put the sound together. It's the Shoreline Masonic Lodge at 185th, North 185th. Again, Sunday, September 10th, a week from today at 7 p.m. Rob Moitoza back in town. Thank you for that note, Rob. Really appreciate that. I will also give you a reason of the week for the blues every week. Not like you need help with that, but maybe you need some help getting something done, because that's what we're going to be all about. It's the to-do that is my role. So, yes, I'll give you your senator's phone number, your other senator's phone number, your congresspeople's phone numbers. That's a way to start. That's something you can do, whether it's AI or whatever's bugging you this week. Yeah. I tell you what, we need real music for real people. That's my slogan. I'm sticking to it. The more artificial it is out there, the more we need the real. And that comes to me in the form of blues music. I don't know why we want anything artificial. It's never worked out. Artificial grass didn't work. Artificial butter, that's margarine, didn't work. I'm baffled of why we would try artificial intelligence. Anyway, don't get me started. We got other venues, stuff happening in September. Jazz Alley, always bringing great music to town. Sea Monster, booking a lot of funky stuff up there in Wallingford, and a lot of good locals. That you could stick to the locals there for sure and get funky. Madison Pub up in Everett. I mentioned Aurora Borealis. How about the Spar in Tacoma, or Conway Muse up there in Conway? Sunbanks is coming in September. They're going to do a bunch of great blues, including Joel Astley, the latest thing, the 7th to the 10th of September. And then they follow that on the 14th with Sunbanks Rocks. So if you like rock, go for that one. It's more of a blues tributes, if you will, tribute bands that play the blues. A bunch of them. So that'll be the 14th through the 17th again at Sunbanks. beautiful, right on the Columbia River there. But the Blues Week or weekend is the 7th through the 10th. A lot of great names, including Joel, my buddy Joel Astley. All right, so what else is in September? Oh, Tim's Tavern. They got a good lineup, and they moved to White Center. So check it out. They got a bigger place now. All right, so I told you about the Cajun Fest and Sundiata. Oh, Buddy Guy's last tour. I hope you got to see some of that. They're coming up with more stuff in Kent. They got a lot of music in Kent, a lot of activities. Sip and Savor, they call it, 6 to 9 p.m. on the 15th of September. So, yeah, just a brief look at the calendar. I always want to give you more than I got, but we'll stop right there. October coming around the corner. I'll bring more stuff. I heard this week actually it was a church in L.A. called the Soul Clinic back in the 50s. I think that we should call a club or a band the Soul. Help with our soul these days. All right, so let's see. What else I got to cover? Oh, I want to mention at the Seattle Drum School on the 10th of September. That's a busy day, turns out. A week from today, we are going to feature Mongolian music by three siblings. The group, I'm just going to guess how to say it, Mongol. Is that right? Something like that. Anyway, September 10th, it's the second Sunday at 6 Youth Music Showcase 2.0. Check it out. Really doing some fun work here at the Seattle Drum School, the lab at 1010 South Bailey. All you have to do is have one performer that's at least under 21. Go backwards in the age thing. And then you can be part of the second Sunday Youth Music Showcase. So put your act together, come down here, collect some tips. We got a nice tip jar. And on the 10th, as I said, Mongolian music by three siblings. You can't beat the sibling stuff. You just can't. Yeah, they make harmony better than anybody. All right, so what else we got to cover? Well, my Cadillac parts are what brought me here to the Seattle Drum School, and they are signed Cadillac parts. So I have people like Pinetop Perkins and John Mayall and Joe Bonamassa, Marcia Ball, Alan Toussaint. A number of people signed my Cadillac. Some of them here, some of them not here anymore. Dr. John, Clarence Gatmount Brown signed it. But we're also going to invite some people to be my guest here on a Sunday afternoon and sign my Cadillac parts. Yeah, it sounds kind of intimate, but the Cadillac has made the rounds. It stopped running, but we do have some of the parts that we'd like people to sign. So, as I said, I'll get Patty Allen. She's already signed the Cadillac. And I'll get Butch Harrison in this month, hopefully. He has not signed my Cadillac, so we'll get him in here. All right, so I went to Port Townsend. Unfortunately, we lost Steve James this last year. Here's his picture. I know it's kind of rough. I didn't put it on my thumb drive. But Steve James is on the cover of Acoustic Guitar Magazine, and he passed away this year. He lived in West Seattle, his last residence. We were so lucky to have him here. Before that in Austin, and just a great acoustic blues guy. Taught up there at Port Townsend on a regular basis, so there was a lot of people missing him. They did a gathering to honor him, and hopefully we'll do some more of that. Also, some great teachers up there in Port Townsend, I must say. I enjoyed Ethan Leonwand. His name gets butchered all the time, but he is one of the best on the piano teaching, and he knows how to play stride. He's based in St. Louis, but he comes out every year for Port Townsend, at least when they invited to teach, and they did last year and this year. Really great teacher. So all the teachers up there, Ben Hunter, and we got Phil Wiggins up there this year. Fighting some health issues. We're going to keep him in our prayers, but looking good playing. He was at every jam. He just wants to play. Yep, indeed. I really enjoyed Chaz Leary. I took a rub board class. I'm going to have to get me a rub board. What fun that was. As I said, Ben Hunter doing the Rhapsody, they call it, the Rhapsody program for kids up there, much like what we do here at the Seattle Drum School. We teach kids and let them get some performance experience, some chops, and that's what we had fun doing this last summer, and all the recitals. I've been digging them. I saw one last week, and they had a horn section doing harmony on I Dream of Jeannie, was it? Yeah. Da da dun 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 dun. Anyway, the horns were excellent. You can check at the YouTube channel for the Seattle Drum School. KZ is great about catching clips of whatever happens here, so you can find all those clips at the Seattle Drum School website. Indeed. So let's see, how long have I talked? Oh, 17 minutes. That's not long enough. Well, I tell you what, we've got some footage to share with you, and I'm going to ask my crew. Maggie, are you there? Yep, she's there. And Justin, thank you for being here. And let's see, if I have my druthers, we'd play some footage of Red House. That group has changed a little. We lost Jimmy Holden during the pandemic. Unfortunately, he was a gem, and on organ and vocals. And his dad was on the is still on the cover of Jackson Street After Hours, the definitive book about jazz history in Seattle. So Jimmy Holden passed this year. He was part of Red House. Red House doing the Scarlet Tree reunion party on the 1st of October again at Aurora Borealis. And Tim Scott and Robin Crane, I think, on drums. He's still drumming. Anyway, they have all-star band. Incredible, incredible players. And maybe one last gig before they all kind of go separate ways. But looking forward to that Scarlet Tree reunion on the 1st. Oh, what else we got? Let's see. Well, there are all kinds of lessons here being taught at the Seattle Drum School, so I would encourage you to sign up for a class, even if you're a big kid. It's a great place to learn any kind of music, ukulele, piano. They got drum kits and pianos and amps in every room, so you can take a lesson, walk in and play pretty quickly. You know, they facilitate it. Darren Lucas is here on a regular basis teaching. Amy Denio is here teaching. CD, Chris Littlefield is here teaching trumpet and every other thing. And, of course, Steve Steve is our guru here, the drum man. What does he show up once a week? But he's up in Lake City most of the time teaching. Steve Peterson. I'm sorry, there's so many Steves. Steve Smith, there we go. I was thinking of the other Steve, but anyway, Steve Smith. Everybody, whenever I mention his name, people say, oh, they're the nicest, they're the nicest, they're the nicest. So I'm very lucky to be here at the Seattle Drum School every Sunday afternoon, and except for the 24th, I'm going to play a rerun because that is my mom's celebration of life, and she gave me music. I'm so inspired always by her. That's her picture. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. So yeah, we'll be doing that. I'll play a best of show that week, probably something to do with Bird. But yeah, if you got a clip of that Red House, just a little test our, do another test, see if we can play this stuff, because I got lots of stories to tell and footage to go with it. All right, go ahead, Maggie.
right now. Oh, okay. 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 So here's just the right hand. You ready?
All right, we're back at the lab, the little auditorium in the back at the Seattle Drum School, 1010 South Bailey in Seattle's Georgetown. I'll remind you that we do have free coffee and cookies. I'll have some kind of treat every week starting at 1 o'clock right after church here at the Seattle Drum School. That's right, we do a lot of activities. There's a Mongolian trio. They're all siblings that are going to be here on the 10th of September, and that starts at 5 o'clock. Is that right? Sometime in the afternoon. And they they have great live music here at the lab on a regular basis. You can find out more at seattledrumschool.com. In the youth music showcase, they have one performer has to be under 21, but basically they have a lot of groups coming through. This Mongolian trio, Che Mongol, is three siblings, and that'll again the second Sunday in September at 6. There we go. 6 o'clock. All right, this is the Blues to Do podcast number 1. Basically, we're getting a couple of tests